All right, friends, it's T-Man, and we're going to do a reaction video to our good friend Jeff Nippard, gym lifting, recruiting, fitness slave himself. Jeff Nippard. So, Jeff Nippard says, how much muscle did I gain in 365 days scientific experiment? I don't know. How much did you gain, Jeff? Is that with the steroids that you take that you order to your home or without?
For the next year, I'm going to train as perfectly as humanly possible. That means I'm going to run the most science-based, optimized plan.
You know that he competed in he says it was a natural competition, but he looks very unnatural in that natural competition, which is highly unusual, which is very strange, okay? So whatever, man. I don't know. I really don't care. These people are so fake anyways. Who cares?
And track every single set of every workout. No skipped workouts, no lazy set.
Yeah, this fucking shit conventional lifting has never worked for anybody. Go look at them, man. It doesn't work for anybody. What do? They start bulking or they eat lots and lots of carbs and blow up. And then they fake it. They pretend. Pretend muscles, pretend this and that, whatever. Pretend, it's like these people, pretend strength, gotta lift in the opposite direction, pretend strength. Man, pretend muscles, man, it just goes on and on forever.
No exceptions. I'm also gonna track every single calorie I eat.
Yeah, look at the food he's eating, slave food diet. You know what I mean? He has a book for nutrition, give me a break. Calories. Humans, we're just interested in nutrients. Human cells are interested in nutrients. They're not interested in these calories. Rice, which has arsenic here, these plants and everything, which have like, God knows what's in them. They're poisonous. Plants are poison.
Every day for a year straight. And in this video, I'll show you my full result.
Now, here's the funny part. He's gonna start to feel, it's gonna start to hit him really hard when he hits 40, he's done. He's done, this guy. He'll be like all the rest of them, like the Poliquins, dead at 50, whatever. He'll be dead like the rest of them.
To start the experiment, I'll get a DEXA scan to measure my body fat percentage and an ultrasound to measure my muscle.
Yeah, DEXA scans, they're not accurate either. It says that in NCB. I've done a video on it on my old channel.
Size. Then, after a
not even muscle, can't distinguish between sarcoplasmic myofibrillar growth.
Full year of optimized training will measure exactly how much muscle I gained.
But it doesn't tell you how much muscle, how much contractile proteins or myofibrillars you built. It doesn't tell you that. It doesn't count it. It doesn't see anything. It just there's something there, and it thinks that's muscle. It's sarcoplasmic.
Here's the best part. For any of you that are new to the gym, I'm going to also do the exact same experiment on my biological brother, who's a similar height as me, with the similar genetics, but here's the catch. He does not lift.
Okay, he does not lift. This is your brother? Okay.
At all. He's a completely untrained beginner. This way, we'll get to see the difference between someone who's been training for over 15 years versus someone totally new to lifting. You see,
Jeff Nippard's been lifting for 15 years, and that's as good as he could get with his roids. Wow, it's incredible. Whew.
You build most of your muscle in your first few years of lifting. Then it slows down. And there's a theory out there that once you've been training for 5 or maybe 10 years, you've built all the muscle you can build. People call this your natural ceiling for muscle growth. And for the last few years...
Natural ceiling for muscle growth. There is no natural ceiling for muscle growth. There's no such thing. He made that up.
I've been thinking that I've reached it. Despite training as hard as usual,
He thinks that he reached it. No matter how hard I'm training. What? Look at the way you train, man. You don't train for myofibrillar growth.
Haven't really seen any noticeable gains in the last few...
Yeah, because look at you, man. Your ass cheek squeezing. You lift concentrically. What are you talking about? And you're taking steroids, too. Maybe the steroids aren't working good enough for you, Jeff. There's something ridiculous going on here.
Years. And once you hit your natural ceiling, you have a decision.
I love this. Once you hit your natural ceiling, there's no natural ceiling, bro. Get it? There is no natural ceilings. There's a myonuclear domain size limit, right? After the first bout. But then it's incumbent upon you to get more of these, to get over the myonuclear domain size limit with repeated injury bouts, with these micro injury bouts. Get it? Yeah, it's incumbent upon you. Your body's not going to do it for you. And steroids, they don't do that for you. They don't damage muscles for you. You know what I mean? None of that stuff is going to do it for you. You got to do it yourself. Supplements, they don't damage muscles for you. You got to go and fucking damage them yourself, man.
You can either maintain what you've built, saying goodbye to any new gains.
Dude, if you want to see growth, then you have to repeat these bouts of getting damage. Oh, I know people are gonna say, well, the repeated bout effect phenomena. With the repeated bout, there's no more damage. Well, yeah, I know that, but in eccentric exercise, just eccentrics, that damage will always come back, providing the sets and the weight that you're using is heavy enough to cause this damage to keep coming on. Of course, it's not a natural limit that you'll reach. You'll reach where, I don't know, possibly you can't lift as heavy anymore, you can't do as many sets. It's all incumbent upon you. How many sets, how many reps, and how much weight you're lifting eccentrically to build muscle is incumbent upon all of fucking you. Get it, man? It's not based on, I gotta go to the gym and, well, hope for the best, lifting conventionally, eccentric, concentric lifting, like everybody else, full range of stupid motion. I call it full range of foolish motion. Get it?
Or you can take anabolic steroids. I've definitely
I love this one. You can take anabolic steroids. Well, guess what? When you stop taking them, where did all the gains go? If it actually builds muscle, if it actually could build muscle, everybody would be doing it. That's not why they deny you. The pharmaceutical industries, they made them illegal. That's not why they made them illegal. You know what I mean? Well, one of the reasons was because they use them in sports because it enhances performance, but it doesn't build muscles, and so it enhances your performance because it's a hormone. Yeah, and it makes you better whatever you're doing there at that sport or whatever. So that's why one of the reasons the Olympic Committee they put on their list, the WADA list or whatever they call it, and then the FDA whatever, it's banned. Okay.
about using steroids, but I don't want to because the side effects.
The other reason is the side effects. Yeah, they're toxic. They can destroy you. Why? Because they're toxic. They're synthetic. They're made from plants, and plants are toxic. Plants are poisonous. So look what he writes here: heart attack, stroke, liver failure, kidney damage, cardiomyopathy, mental health, infertility, hair loss, gynecomastia, shrunken dick, your endocrine system. Yeah, a bunch of stuff can happen. You can have all kinds of things. You'll atrophy, a bunch of things. Maybe dementia, who knows?
Scare me. I also don't want to just maintain if I can still make gains.
Why do you need to what's there to maintain exactly? There's very little to maintain there once you build real muscle. Maybe the sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, that requires a lot of maintenance. That's why people are always complaining about my gains are going, yeah.
As a bodybuilder, making gains is kind of the point, right? And besides, there's really no...
As a bodybuilder, gains is the point. Well, yeah, if you're doing bodybuilding, you want to build your body, then yeah, the gains is the focus. I don't know what you're focused on, trying to lift a heavy weight in the opposite direction.
Science on this so-called natural ceiling anyway. It might not even be a real thing. So for me, this experiment...
It isn't really a real thing. See what it's not really a real thing.
will answer the question of whether or not I've reached my natural ceiling, or if I simply...
You mean, man, your natural ceiling. Fuck me, man. Natural ceiling. This is so dumb.
Haven't been training as hard and smart as I could be. For my brother Brad, it'll show how much muscle a new lifter can gain in 1 year of dedicated...
Well, everything works in the beginning until it stops working. You need to figure out why it stopped working. It's kind of obvious.
Training. Let's find out.
Introducing Gemini in Google Slides.
Okay, guys, it's day one of the experiment. We're here at McMaster University, and we're going to get a whole bunch of tests done. Then we're going to come back exactly 1 year from today and see how much muscle we built. Let's get started. To start,
He's going to come back 1 year from this day to see how much he built. Okay. Have I reached my natural ceiling? How much muscle can a new gain? Okay, whatever.
Experiment needs a good hypothesis.
Yeah.
And upon deep reflection, I think I have not reached my natural ceiling for muscle growth. I think that if I really give it my all, over a full year, I'll see some new growth.
So I have not reached my natural ceiling limit yet. Yet he'll still lift conventionally. He hasn't changed anything here in his lifting. He's lifting full range of motion conventionally. And so lots of people do this. They make up this story about newbie gain limit, genetic limit, natural limit, to hard gainer, and all that. And then so they're like, well, I have to take steroids now. I have to take steroids. Steroids are cosmetic, dude. They're enhanced performing and they're cosmetic. Okay, your doctor will tell you you want cosmetics because you want to look good. You want to reflect something artificial, fake. Did you beat this so-called limit that you talk about because you took steroids? Does it beat a genetic limit? No, that doesn't do that. If you inject a steroid, how does it get over this so-called, you call it natural limit? How does it beat the natural limit? If you're doing something unnatural, you're injecting something artificial, unnatural in your body, a foreign substance, and you think that's going to get you over your so-called natural limit where you end it or something? What the fuck are you talking about? You crazy, man. You crazy.
And to set the standard
Sick
high,
people,
I'm
this
going to
industry is sick, and so is this guy, the fitness industry.
take an ambitious guess at how much muscle I'll gain this year. I'm going to guess that I will gain.
This guy's the most mentally ill, sick influencer on YouTube, on the internet. If you follow him, you too, he will make you mentally sick and ill, just like he is, because that's what he is.
4 pounds of muscle. I think Brad will gain double that, 8 or 9 pounds of muscle. I'm going to say 9 pounds of muscle. What do you guys think? Is that ambitious?
Post-cut, or-
Is that too much?
I think 4 pounds of muscle is quite a bit. I mean,
Do you know who I am? No.
For him,
Yeah.
it might be under.
She thinks 4 pounds of muscle is a lot. Okay, yeah, okay.
Shooting
Okay.
a bit. For you, man, you know natural bodybuilding. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard, man.
Challenge accepted.
I love this guy. Oh, you know, natural bodybuilding, it's hard. Well, it's hard if you're skating uphill and you don't know what you're doing. Look, man, if you're matching blow for blow, lifting eccentric, concentric, well, it's kind of obvious, right? If the eccentric is constrained by the concentric, then it's matched. It's matched for blow, for strength, and for gains. It's matched. Get it? Because it is, because it's being constrained by concentric. But when eccentric is not constrained by concentric lifting, then the gains take off. Get it? They just fly to the moon, man. The strength gains go up. Your strength, your physical strength goes up because you're physically building more muscle. So your physical strength goes up. Your physical strength and your force production and everything else fucking goes through the roof. Okay, dude? Because it's a superior modality. You understand me? Christ.
So, with my own research team as my biggest haters, we got our starting measurements.
I have a 4.7.7, so if you can
Look at that, internet. It says 5'2".
Yeah.
First up, we use this
Jeff Nippard's really short. He's 5'2" tall. My God. So he's gonna have very short muscles. When people grow, they stretch out at some point when they keep growing, because the growth of the fiber itself, getting more fibers, usually stops at 15. So if you keep growing taller, then they start elongating. They get longer.
DEXA machine to measure our starting body fat percentage and lean mass.
So what did you predict you were at?
I think I said 14.6. It said that I was 15.8%.
Okay, 15.8, which is not bad. It's respectable. You know, 15 is not bad, really, to tell you the truth. It's I don't know, I guess you could call it, I don't know, healthy. It depends. In a cold climate, maybe 12 is better. Yeah.
Body fat. That was a bit higher than I expected. I thought I'd be closer to 13 or 14%. But hey, maybe I'll get that.
The abs aren't totally visible, so it could be mostly in that area. Maybe it's visceral fat. Who knows?
Down by the end. It also said I had 132.7 pounds of
Could be internal, visceral. I don't know. What does he have here? How many pounds of lean mass?
lean mass.
Okay, 137. He's really small. Lean mass, muscle, organs, bones, water. Okay.
Lean mass includes your muscle mass, but it also includes your organs and body water. After that, we got our muscle thickness measured using ultrasound. This device sends sound waves through your body that reflect back, creating echoes that can generate an image of how thick the muscle is. We did thickness measurements for our biceps and quads. Brad's starting body fat was
Again, if it's sarcoplasmic, it's just not really gonna, it's not gonna see. It's just gonna see it as that being muscle.
36.2%, also higher than both of us thought. Most people probably do think
36 You wouldn't even know looking at him. 36% body fat. Wow.
They're leaner than they actually are. We're also doing regular posing updates to assess our visual progress.
And look at him. Does he look like he's 36% body fat? Look at Jeff. Jeff is like at 15, this guy 36, 15 something, and this guy 36 something. It doesn't like, it looks like he has very, well, he doesn't look like he's built or anything. But, I mean, wow, it's just, I don't see much different. Maybe a little bit more. It's, oh, fuck. That's just crazy.
So Brad and I made our own posing room to make sure we'll have the exact same lighting and angle for the before and the after. For our first workout of the experiment, we're doing an upper body session, and this is the split
Okay, he's using his arms. It's an arm workout, so it's conventional lifting. It was just crap.
we'll be running all year. It's a mix between an upper-lower split and a push.
There's very little, if any, damage at all happening there. Minute, which will forgo the remodeling and just repair. Even if there was some damage there, because it's so small lifting conventionally, your body just forgoes the remodeling stage and just repairs, and then it's a constant. That's why people complain. They go, oh yeah, if I get this damage, we're just repairing. You are just repairing because you don't have enough damage. A major damage session would probably last about a good 3 to 4 days, the maximum. Then you know you have something going on, a remodeling, if it goes for 3-4 days.
Pull leg split. Upper on Monday, lower on Tuesday. Those are the more strength-focused workouts. Then we'll take a rest day, followed by 3 hypertrophy-focused workouts. A push day, chest, shoulders, and triceps. A pull day, back and biceps. And another leg day. Now, at this point, you may be wondering...
Again, he's using his arms and everything, and all these exercises. Full range of motion, arms. It's crazy.
Exactly what I'm doing differently this year. If I've been...
And you need to go all the way up to the top. Why exactly? So you can exhaust yourself. You have to do fast repetition work here. Wide, fast repetition. That's it. You don't have to go that far up. You just stay in the eccentric part. Go up and go down. Go up and go down. Or you could just go down voluntarily, accentuated.
Training already for 15 years, what am I doing differently for this experiment that I wasn't doing already?
I love this. I've been training for 15 years. What am I doing different in this experiment that I haven't done in the other ones? Well, nothing, because you're still lifting the same way, concentrically. Look at you. Full range and concentric. Not only, listen, here's the funny part. There are absolutely zero eccentrics here. It's all either full range of motion or they're just eccentric. Like this exercise here is pure eccentric.
Well, with training, there are 3 new
Isometric, concentric, so it's shortening. There's nothing going on here. He's just squeezing his muscles at the top.
things. First, I'm taking the last set of every single exercise.
So this is where the sarcoplasm starts filling up in these areas, so you don't even realize what's going on there. You don't know, really. It happens like that. It really does happen like that. You just don't know.
To failure. No exceptions. Even on heavy compound.
Went to failure. To failure is not the same as failing in the eccentric. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not really a failure. You've lost, you lose momentum, you lose strength.
On lifts like presses and squats, I'm pushing that last set until I physically can't.
Yeah, but look at him. He's so busy pushing to the top to shrink his muscle. Look, man. You want to keep it at the bottom as much as possible so you can build muscle, but at the top, it shrinks muscles. Keep pressing, keep pressing. I'm not saying once you actually build these muscles in series, in parallel in series, you can't go and press this weight. It'll be light, so you'll press it quickly. But if you press slow to the top, you're really shrinking it.
Not get the weight up and literally drop it, obviously using safety bars. I don't know if failure makes a big difference for hypertrophy, but the latest science definitely shows a trend.
It doesn't. It does nothing. It does nothing. It just exhausts you.
The harder you push, the more growth you tend to see.
So the harder I push running up a stairwell, the more growth I'll see if I run up a mountain upward into space. Against gravity, I'll see more growth if I go against gravity. Is that it? How will my muscles see growth if I go against gravity with them and not with gravity? How?
I'd always leave 1 or 2 reps in the tank on compound exercises, even on the lap.
Okay, this is not bad. I would call these bodybuilding deadlifts. They're good, yeah. He's doing the eccentric, concentric, a full range of motion, which is not bad actually. But then you have to know exactly how to bring back this damage doing that exercise. If it is in a semi full range of motion, let's just say, you're gonna have to overwork that muscle a lot.
Set, and I still think that's a good
So it requires numerous sets and reps.
idea for most people. But I want to go ham this year, leaving no uncertainty.
So busy pressing at the top that he's like, I'm shrinking my muscles. So what is the point? If you're shrinking them, how can you gain muscle?
Of whether I could have done more. Second, I'm only doing optimal exercises. If it doesn't build maximum muscle,
Look how light that is. I'm doing optimal exercises. And then he's like, if it doesn't build muscles, what? What about it? What?
I'm not doing it. Third, I'm meticulously
If it doesn't build muscles, I'm not doing it. So why are you doing exercises that don't build muscles and actually cause them to get smaller? What does it make? Bro.
tracking all my weights for progressive overload. And my goal is to add a little weight or a rep each week. Now, since Brad's a beginner, I have to ease him into the workouts. So we're starting with 1 set per exercise in week 1, 2 sets in week 2, and then 3 sets from week 3 on. And yes, he has to run the exact same program as me for scientific control. It's definitely a bit too advanced for him, but I think he can do it for science.
You see that shakiness? That's how we know you're a new lifter. that is your body saying, what are you doing right now? I have not done this.
For that first week of training, my main priority is just getting Brad familiar.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get something out of it because he's never lifted like this before. Whether we repeat it bout, there's no more gains. There'll be very little gains and it'll just drop off.
With the technique on the different exercises in our program.
All you're gonna do is just stick your butt back as you lower the bar straight down with straight legs. Good, and then up. Oh, that's it? That's it, that's the whole movement. Oh, okay. So don't bring the bar out in front, lower it straight down. It's not gonna hit your knees because you're moving your butt back. There you go, that's it. That's your RDL. And you can stop about just below knee height, so we'll stop about there. Okay.
Oh, these are good RDLs, okay.
We're not
Knee height, so we'll stop about there. Okay.
We're not doing any failure training in week 1 or 2 just to get it.
He's not doing
So you said precedent, then you
Training in week 1 or 2 just to get adjusted.
Sorry about that. Something blinked out there. Look, he's just using his arms, man. What is this? This is ridiculous training. He did when he started pulling, that was eccentric. You understand me? That was eccentric when he pulled it, but then it becomes concentric. But he's using his arms, so really there's nothing going on there, bro. All the tension is in the shoulders and arms and everywhere else, man. Whatever.
The real failure work is going to start in week 3.
Again, it's all in the arms there. Why do you think pull-ups are more superior than pull-downs using this machine? People do that instead, and why do they see more when they do pull-ups than they do pull-downs? Why? Because your body is hanging there. It's your body weight going with gravity. But in this case, you're pulling a weight down, ass cheek squeezing, and then it's going back up again.
All right, man. That's 1 week of training down.
I enjoyed it more than maybe I even thought I would, to be honest. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks.
You did
Okay,
it.
that was a full range of motion, ass cheek squeezing there too.
Because now it's just repeating that
Yeah.
52 times.
All right.
Yeah, I like these. These are not bad. He's going semi-deep here, so this helped. But look how light the weight is. He'll get something out of it because he's probably never done these before. But these weights are so light. But whatever. Okay. Maybe that's all he can handle. I don't know.
Well, 51.
Oh, 51
Come on
times.
now.
That's right. That's right.
By week 3, we were cruising. The initial soreness from starting a new program had
Okay. The initial soreness from starting a new program. Listen to what he said. He even mentions it. The initial soreness from starting a new program. Here, let me start.
settled
this.
down.
Hold on a second. So listen to this, what he says here.
Well, 51.
Oh, 51
Come on
times.
now.
That's right. That's right.
By week 3, we were cruising. The initial soreness from starting a new program had settled down, and before we knew it, it was time for our first check-in.
So the initial damage from the session that he was doing has settled down. So there's no more damage. The repeated bout effect has kicked in. There's no more damage. So there's no more growth. No damage, no more growth. Get it, dude?
Truth. I'm a little nervous.
Are you? No. What am I nervous about?
So this was shocking. After just 1 month of training, Brad is already up 12.7 pounds of lean mass. His body fat
Well, I would expect him to be up. Usually it happens in the beginning, is one of the ones that comes the most in the beginning. You know what I mean? It happens quickly in the beginning. It's the protective effect.
percentage dropped from 36.2% down to 33.4%.
That's good. That's good. That's a good thing. Yeah. His lean mass went up, but we don't know if that's sarcoplasmic either. There's some sarcoplasmic in there. We're not really sure exactly. There's definitely some muscle growth, but I would say it's very little. Not a lot, not like what they think it is. And the body fat went down. Okay.
Ultrasound showed he gained 14 millimeters on his quads and 1 millimeter on his biceps.
That's from 1 month training. Okay.
1 month.
Bruh. Nicely done.
Again, I don't know how he's training. Is he training every day? How's he training? Says the soreness went away, the damage. I don't know how they train. I don't know if they train every day, what the hell they're doing there. It could be just sarcoplasmic. Yeah, the fat can, if you train every day, right, you'll load glycogen in the muscle and you'll burn body fat every day. You'll burn body fat, load glycogen. Are you building myofibrillars? No, because he doesn't say anything about myofibrillar growth.
Holy crap, I gotta tell Mom that.
But my 1 month results were even more surprising.
So wait, how much
Because Jeff is on steroids? They're more surprising. Okay.
did I gain?
1,400 grams of lean mass, fat-free
Okay,
mass.
so 1.4 kilos.
We don't know that for sure. The DEXA scan can't tell you that it was just pure myofibrillar growth.
Of lean mass.
Believe it or not, I'm also up just over 3 pounds of lean mass. Unlike Brad, I did gain a little fat. My body fat went from 15.8.
If that was true, why does he have to always do these things about building his body? Where did it go then? He says he's been lifting for 15 years, right? Then where did the gains go? The gains are coming and going, and then he does another program, he has to do it again? That makes absolutely no sense. Once you gain myofibrillars, it's not something they're going to go away, coming and going. They're not coming and going, and I have to find a new program to build muscle again, all over again. This doesn't make any sense.
Percent up to 16.7%. So
Whatever.
with that check-in as a massive motivator, Brad and I got back to work. In 5 months, we'll finish our bulking phase and do another check-in.
Those are pure. That's pure conventional lifting, pure concentric. It's full range, whatever. It's no.
People say that bulking is pointless because you just get fat.
Look, bulking is pointless. You'll get fat. Yeah, because look at the sludge he's eating here. It's all sludge, man. Slave food diet.
How fat will we get? That's what we'll see in 5 months. At the 9
That food doesn't build muscle.
month mark, we'll do a third check-in. This will be the end of our recomp phase, where we'll try to build muscle and lose fat at the same.
So if you're doing that, why aren't you just eating protein then? Animal protein. If that's really the goal, why is he eating the slave food diet? Because sarcoplasmic. And his body fat's going down only because he's now coming in often to the gym lifting. That's all. So he's not really building anything here.
Time. Most people say that's impossible for advanced lifters.
And he's also lifting conventionally full range. So that just says it all right there, man. Fake. It says fake. Fake.
But I want to see for myself. Then after 12 months, we'll do our final update. This will be the end of our cut phase. I want to get back down to my starting body weight to see if I'll actually keep the muscle that I gained during my bulk, or if I just lose it all again and look exactly the same as before.
Will he keep all the muscle bulking? Oh my God. Okay, man. Whatever. Bulking and lifting conventionally. Okay.
You may also be wondering what we're doing for our diet. Obviously, we're both eating
Yeah,
the
there's
exact same
some animal stuff, but a lot of fake stuff. Carbs. Okay, whatever. Daily intake. Okay.
calories and macros. 3,000 calories, 150 grams of protein, 410 grams of carbs, and 85...
Well, there you go. Look, the carbs. 410 against protein, 150. So it's sarcoplasmic. It's a given fact, bro. It's sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. He hasn't built any muscle.
grams of fat per day. And this is what a typical day of bulking meals looks like for me. If you want to pause.
There you go. It's bulking meals to get fat, okay? to load glycogen in the muscle. Okay, yeah.
Screenshot. All this means that I'm eating about 15% above my maintenance calories, and I'm aiming to gain around 2 pounds per month. Now, obviously, Brad shouldn't be bulking at 33% body fat. To get his
I guarantee you, these guys lifting conventionally and coming in often to the gym lifting, them coming in often lifting in the gym, and there's no damage. It is sarcoplasmic training. Yeah.
best possible transformation, I should absolutely put him in a 5 to 20% caloric deficit and have him lose fat while building muscle.
I mean, at least if they were just stretching, which is really difficult, just constantly stretching your muscle. If you just keep stretching it, you may get something there. You know what I mean? But that without any damage is not going to do very much. But whatever.
You can't do that. If Brad's in a deficit while I'm in a surplus, that's an uncontrolled variable. We need every variable to be the same except our training experience. So, unfortunately for Brad, he has to eat the same calories as me for science.
And I didn't realize I ate so much fat. Every night it's like, I've run out of fat, but I got like 30 carbs left. So I just gotta drink a glass of orange juice. I've just been staring at this orange juice now for like 10 minutes. I really just don't want to drink it. I just hate orange juice now.
So every single day, we're tracking every calorie we eat.
Look at the food they're eating. It's slave food diet, man. It's slave food.
This thing has happened. I was having this dream about like work. I went out to lunch. I realized that I didn't track the calories or anything for the lunch that I just had, and it was like fast food too. There was like a bag of like Skittles or something that I was eating, and I was trying to like scan it with my phone while my coworker was like talking to me and stuff and getting angry. And then I dropped some, and like it literally just like landed in like a pile of dirt. And I was like, oh, I don't have a scale, so like how am I gonna know how many grams of candy I just lost and all this stuff? So I guess I've started dreaming about counting calories now.
It sounds like a lot of work, especially for someone new to tracking macros, but because we've been using my nutrition app Macro Factor,
None of this makes sense, man. This is so dumb. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do all this artificial stuff. I'm eating these artificial slave food diets, so I have to track all these calories and see what I'm building. I'm lifting conventionally. I'm coming in often to the gym. There's no damage. There's no growth. There's nothing, bro. I'm losing fat because I'm coming in often now. I don't know. And I'm loading glycogen in my muscles. Bah, whatever, dude.
it's super easy. The app is a fast barcode scanner that quickly pulls up the macros, and it has multi-food plate logging.
Oats, that's disgusting. Oats is for horses, for animals. Look at this plate full of rice with arsenic in it, and these, whatever, and vegetables. It's garbage food, bro.
To capture many foods at once. It only takes me about 5 to 10 minutes a day to get everything tracked.
The majority of his diet is carbs, so he's building sarcoplasmic muscle. There's very little protein there. Very little, and there's no damage. He doesn't work out. He doesn't do damaging sessions in the gym. He works out conventionally.
It's the app we're both using
And a lot of it's just pure concentric too.
every day for the whole year. If you'd like to try it out for yourself, I'll put a free 2-week trial in the description box below. Just use code Jeff when you download the app, and you'll get 2 weeks for free. Whether your goal is to build muscle, lose fat, or do both at the same time, the app will use advanced algorithms to scientifically guarantee that you reach your goal, as long as you follow the plan. All you have to do is track what you eat and log your weight. That's it. Sleep is another big part of this experiment. Brad and I both wear an Oura ring every night, aiming for 8 to 9 hours of sleep. We're trying to go to sleep and wake up around the same time
Yeah, that ring is going to help you. Is that it? Okay.
as well to set our circadian rhythm. New research shows that it's
I
not
love the circadian rhythm. Okay.
just about the total sleep you get. Your sleep-wake schedule also matters. Supplements are a small part of this,
Yeah, I guess it does. It definitely helps.
but here's the list of supplements that we're both taking.
And you need supplements. Why? You don't need any of these things. The only supplement I would recommend is amino acids, but that's if you're doing heavy damaging sessions. You're going to need that. Maybe some B12, active form. Yeah, that's really about it. Yeah, I can't recommend anything else. Vitamin D3. I mean, maybe if there's no sun, right? You need some vitamin D3. You get it anyways in meat product. In animal products, you get vitamin D. You get a bunch of this stuff. Definitely don't want creatine, 3 amino acids to put bloat water in you. You don't need this fake protein stuff, food. It's just sugar. You don't need caffeine. You don't need fish oil either. Eat real fish. Just eat real food. You don't need this.
If you want to pause and read. No steroids, obviously.
No.
Yeah, just
Yeah, sure.
kidding. Okay, so this is
I
our
like how
full
it says no steroids. You know Jeff does take steroids.
plan, and for the next 5 months, we're just going to follow it.
Drive it. Go again. Take a big breath.
Okay.
Come on, push it.
Push it in the opposite direction. Okay.
I'm 2 months into the experiment, and I'm doing a 3-week writing retreat in Mexico with staff. This is where I'm going to finish writing my first hard copy book. Travel always throws me off a bit for the first couple days, but once I found a really cool gym in a grocery store, I was able to lock in. And while there are more temptations and very delicious tacos and tequila down here,
Yeah, in Mexico, they have these places like Playa del Carmen, Cancun. I know where he's eating, actually. I know this place, this mall with the water. I've eaten there. Oh, my God. I eaten there in Cancun. Yeah, they have them. You could get them there, yeah, I guess. But they're fake. A lot of it's fake, man. They just steal your money there.
with a 3,000 calorie per day bonus.
Oh my God, she's eating a ramen noodle soup thing, garbage food. Jesus, is that what's her name? His the girlfriend? I thought she was an ex already. He's still seeing her?
Budget, I was able to fit in a little Mexican delicacy without any issues. One of the beauties of bulking. After Mexico, one of the hardest things for me was balancing the training I needed to shoot for videos and balancing my own actual off-camera training. A few of the chairless videos.
And he needs to press all that weight. Why exactly? Okay.
Took me 7 or 8
So he can shrink his legs. Okay.
hours to film with all those exercises, and then I'd still have to actually train after. But for this year, regardless of what I'm filming, I'm still getting all my workouts in. Yesterday I did a collab with Jesse James West. We filmed a few workouts for his channel. Normally I would count that as my workout, whereas yesterday, after we filmed for a couple hours, got a bite to eat, and then did my workout even though like I really didn't want to. It's those little things, like those workouts that you want to skip but don't skip. It's the sets where you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. I think that those things can really add up and make a big difference, and that's something that I've definitely learned on this experiment so far. I did a light deload week in April. Not only is this a good idea regardless, but I was starting to get sick, and my body was definitely overworking. I'm actually...
Well, he's finally doing some full eccentrics at the bottom here. The squats. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Interesting, yeah. Let's see what else he says here.
Not feeling too well today, and so this is going to be the first day that I skip a workout that I have scheduled. Yeah, if I went to the gym today, I just know it would be a subpar workout, whereas if I rest today and then go tomorrow, I'll probably perform much better, or hopefully anyway, so just want to do a quick little update on that. After the deload, Brad, my dad and I did a boys trip to Arizona. I hadn't seen Brad for a while, so it was great to link up and get some good workout.
See, I didn't know he lived in Ontario. I think he lives in Toronto for all I know.
Together. Right. Come on, Brad, come on, you can do it.
Yeah, I like those. Those were not bad. Some eccentrics there. Okay, but this really matter. He's adapted to it, so it doesn't matter.
Dad immediately commented on how much bigger I'm looking, and that's definitely true when I'm wearing clothes. But
yeah, because it's all that carbs he was eating, all the carbs he's been consuming. He's lifting, trying to burn body fat, and he's loading carbs in the muscle, yes. He's expanding the sarcoplasm, okay.
I think I'm actually looking softer and kind of smaller in my posing update.
Yeah, you're looking softer because sarcoplasmic.
Brad is definitely up in weight too, but the main thing I noticed is that he's so much stronger. It's kind of insane. He's actually getting close to using some of the weights that I'm using on back exercises. That's definitely his strong point. Today we went for a hike in Sedona.
Well, he's young, he's not old, hello.
And I was starting to worry that maybe we were both gaining a bit too much weight. I decided to have a heart-to-heart check-in with Brad.
The cardio is not quite there yet. What would you say is something that you're most surprised by so far? I'm noticing that my social anxiety is almost gone completely. And that was debilitating at times. Like you would go to a store and...
Okay, so social anxiety is gone, okay. Well, that's what happens when you eat slave food diets and then you become like a pumpkin. When you start eating more natural food, you'll get better. But they're still eating somewhat unnaturally, but using, this is crazy, using a gym to try to restore themselves to normal human beings, or at least this guy is, the brother, which is really crazy.
Just turn around in the parking lot and be like, yeah, not today. But now I don't even find myself like thinking about anything as I'm like going up to a counter, or if I'm approaching like customer services, I'll just go ask for something now. Before I was like, I'm figuring this out myself because I'm not getting any help.
This was a light bulb moment for me. This entire time, I've been so focused on the visual gains, I almost forgot about all the other life-changing benefits of lifting weights.
Bob, let's go. Nice shot.
Yeah.
Back from Arizona, and it's time
You
to
have to see lifting for what it is, like being good at sports. Hello, that's the point.
buckle down before our 6-month check-in. I've only got 2 months left before the end of my goal. And at this point, I'm feeling
Jeff is so busy pushing in the sky, trying to shrink those muscles. Okay.
more motivated than ever. I definitely have to stop. Brad's feeling motivated too. He's much more of a night owl than me, so he'll often train later at night, but he still hasn't skipped a single workout, even if it means going to the gym at 3 a.m.
Going so like the lights are off. Oh, there we go. Walking in and all the lights turning on.
And just like that, into the bowl, it's time to see how much muscle we put on and how much fat we put on.
All right, dude. Ready for the 6-month physique check-in?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Give me a flex.
Give me a shoulder flex.
Hey, I don't know. He looks a little bit pumped, his muscles. Maybe he lost some body fat. Lifting every day at the gym. Who knows?
Like
I don't think that McDonald's or the Skittles helped.
just kind of, yeah.
He doesn't look much different to me. I don't know. He doesn't. There's not much difference here.
Okay, we both put on 15 pounds.
Yeah.
How many of those pounds for you are lean out of the
They both put on 15 pounds, he says. What about the weight that you lost?
15?
Did you say 3?
3 pounds were lean. It's definitely more than that.
Yeah.
At the end of the 6-month bulk, Brad is up 13 pounds of lean mass and
Okay. You don't know if that's lean mass. He's up 13 pounds. That's what it says. He's up 13 pounds. You don't know if it's lean because the DEXA scan will not tell you that. And they're not doing damaging sessions. Not that what I saw. Not what I saw. Nope.
his body fat percentage is down 1.2%. He went from 36.2% at the beginning to 35.0% now. And that's while eating 3,000 calories per day. It really goes to show the power of building muscle. I was a little confused at first though, because when you look at his 1 month
Well, you're trying to use the fat. He'll use it as energy to build that whatever muscle's there to be built. But it's more, he's eating mostly carbs and protein, so it's sarcoplasmic. Their training is sarcoplasmic. Come on, man.
data, it looks like he gained 12.7 pounds of lean mass in that first month, which means he only gained another 0.3 pounds of lean mass in the next 5 months? Probably not.
You know, most lifters that go to the gym, they're all lifting conventionally. It's sarcoplasmic training, which is artificial muscle growth. And on top of it being artificial muscle growth, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy training, then they take steroids, which makes it even more artificial. So artificial there, artificial muscle, steroids, artificial training, sarcoplasmic. None of these people are building muscles in the gym. They can imagine, they can tell themselves that, but that's not what's going on there.
Remember that lean mass includes muscle and water.
Look, I never see him doing dips or real much pull-ups. He did one in the beginning there, but very little. I don't see them doing like the real stuff that will really get you, you know, built up.
And so I think a lot of Brad's initial gains were actually water gains from taking creatine.
Yeah, oh, he's been taking creatine, so water gains, there you go. So he's got even water gains taking creatine, bro. Remember the what was it, the supplement stack they're taking? So Jeff is taking creatine too. He's taking creatine. Jeff is being on steroids. Ah, man, this is just ridiculous. And look at him. He's just pulling with his arms inward and outward. His arms.
For the first time.
This is not an arm workout.
Getting rammed into a high volume training program.
Look at that. It's a partial rep there. The press. They're pressing. It's concentric pressing.
Regardless, his 6-month trend shows impressive body recomposition, being up 13 pounds.
Okay, it's a full range of motion. You can only go so heavy here.
Of lean mass while being down 1.2% body fat. Okay, my turn.
Oh, it looked like eccentric almost. He didn't even make it to the top completely, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It's too light the weight he's using.
You get the results? Are they in?
They're in.
After 6 months,
So he took creatine. They ate tons and tons of carbs, right? They lifted conventionally. He didn't really change anything in his lifting regime, like what he usually lifts, okay? Lifted conventionally, full range of motion and some partial ranges of concentric. So there was a lot of just concentric and some full range of motion, somewhat. But there was no eccentric lifting here at all. And so, yeah, it's fake, bro. He didn't gain anything. The body fat went down because they keep coming in every day lifting, so...
fully optimized training, and with more than 15 years of training already under my belt, I added 4.5 pounds of lean mass. The thing was...
No, he didn't. He's lying. No, he didn't. He didn't. He says 4 pounds now. He went from 132 to 137. No, it's fake.
I also gained, ready for this, 11 pounds of fat. That's a bit much. It means my body...
He gained 11 pounds of fat because he was eating garbage and he was downing creatine. It's fake.
Fat went from 15% at the beginning to just over 20% now.
Great. So he got fat. The brother goes down in fat. He goes up in some weight, some water weight and whatever with the creatine because he was eating a different diet than Jeff. Jeff was bulking his supplements and pump training, whatever, sarcoplasmic training, whatever he's doing, coming there every day. And the brother was doing the opposite. Okay, but taking creatine, and he was still eating kind of somewhat the same, but not as much as him trying to get fat. That's ridiculous.
I'm kind of excited to cut down and see how much muscle I retain. But
nothing. If he cuts down, there's nothing. He didn't make any muscle gains because he took creatine and he got fat.
Let's put this in context. If we pretend this chicken breast is my lean mass and this pile of lard is my fat mass, this is what I put on my body during the bulk. Again, not
That's a lie. He didn't put that on his body. He's lying. He's making that up.
all my lean mass is pure muscle tissue. Some of it is water. But yes, I did put on 4.5 pounds of lean mass.
No, he didn't. You have no proof that you put on 4.5 pounds of lean mass. There's no proof of that.
But I also put on this big pile of fat. So now, the real question...
And this is in 365 days? 1 year? So in 1 year, he's trying to tell you, after doing that creatine, this shitty lifting and everything, him and his brother, and bulking, he gained 4.5 pounds in 1 year and 11 pounds of fat.
is what will happen if I lose all this extra fat? Will I keep this new muscle that I added, or will I lose that too?
All right.
You will, because you never gained any muscle, dude.
It's 6 months of that.
So for the recomp phase, we're dropping our calories down to 2,800 calories per day, which macro factor
Oh, so it's not a full year yet. Okay, whatever. Maybe we're in a half a year. I don't know.
says is our new maintenance intake. And these will be our new macros to follow for the next 3 months. And again, our goal for this phase is to gain muscle and lose fat at the same time while maintaining our weight. A few weeks into the recomp phase, the first thing I noticed is that my strength is basically hitting a plateau. It's not a big deal. I'm still pushing just as hard. I'm just not seeing my numbers go up.
His strength is hitting a plateau. You mean lifting in the opposite direction? It's reaching a plateau?
Every week like I was during the bulk. But I do feel like my physique is tightening up a bit.
Definitely think when I cut down, I'm going to be a lot fuller, rounder, have better shape. Because I can notice the increase in muscularity now, even at a higher body fat. Once I trim the body fat out, I think it's actually going to be a pretty big visual difference, honestly. I feel better about it than I expected to.
Okay, whatever.
I feel better about it than I expected to.
1 month into the recomp phase, Brad and I went to Japan for 3 weeks. So for this trip, also got a haircut. For this trip, we're going to do as much walking as possible because we're in recomp mode. So we're not going to take the escalator. We're going to actually walk. We had an absolute blast, but the trip was our biggest challenge yet, especially diet-wise. I found it hard to get enough protein in, and we both got a little more flexible with our diet, and it would have been truly optimal. Check Can I try it? Oh, it's so good. Right? That's so good. We still got everything tracked.
So they're in Japan, and they're just, I don't know what the hell they're doing here, okay?
And I don't think we got too far off, but we were a bit more lenient than usual. And sushi was definitely the highlight. I've never had such delicious fish in my life.
All right, it's our first workout
I love the sushi's really good. Yeah, okay, that helps.
in Japan. We're going to switch over to a full body split. Full body, 3 days a week.
So they're gonna do a full body split. Yeah. That's sarcoplasmic training.
And that'll just allow us to get in slightly more efficient workouts and not spend quite so much time in the gym so we can actually enjoy Japan. Tokyo was a gorgeous city, so clean and futuristic. We also got to see some incredible shrines and parks in Kyoto. Once we got back home, we switched back to the tried and true upper-lower push-pull legs hybrid split, still taking the last set of every exercise to failure. Oh, yeah. Let's see that fifth one. Smoke it. Smoke it. Slow down again. You got another one. I know you do. Go down.
All right, I like these, the pendulum. So he's doing full range of motion. So he's getting the eccentric with the concentric. This is very good. I like this. But it's going to make him tired going up to the top.
One more time and I'm with you, okay?
It just exhausts you, and you can't rep out as many reps or sets doing this.
I'm with you.
See that?
Drive it, drive it, drive it, drive it.
He's so busy driving it up into outer space. This is the problem with this exercise. You're walking upstairs again. You're climbing stairs and they'll exhaust you. But if you go down a stairwell, that'll cause damage and you'll absorb energy and less cost of energy to you.
Drive it.
Okay, yeah.
Come on, dude. Come on.
I don't like this exercise. It's dangerous doing these. You can hurt yourself.
Good job, good job. Oh, God. Oh, it hurts so much. I don't know where to go.
I was maintaining my weight at around 180 pounds, and I felt like my physique was looking a bit sharper. The month of September flew by.
Yeah, that was full range. Okay.
And it was time for a post-recomp check-in. Did I manage to gain muscle and lose fat at the same time, or did I just spin my wheels for the last 3 months? Let's find out. Turns out, I actually lost 0.8 pounds of lean mass since
He lost 0.8 pounds of lean mass. Okay, whatever.
our last check-in. That's within the DEXA's margin of error, but it's still a bit disappointing. It's also kind of what I expected. At my level of advancement, I think you really need at least a slight caloric surplus to keep
I like this. At his level of advancement, you mean at his level of he's adapted to all these exercises and he can't gain anything anymore because he lifts conventionally? Okay.
muscle growth moving. Maintenance calories probably just won't cut it. I guess it's also possible that switching to the full body split and our time in Japan threw me
Yeah, that's not going to help you either. Whatever.
off a bit, but I was still training super hard and I was still eating a high protein diet. So I really just think that maintenance calories wasn't enough to drive new growth for me, at least not within 3 months. On the upside, I did lose half a pound of fat, so my body fat percentage dropped ever so slightly. Brad's results were a bit better. He lost 3.5 pounds of fat and has got his body fat percentage down to 33.8%. That's despite not actually doing a fat loss phase yet. He did lose 0.7 pounds of lean mass since the last check-in, but that's also within the margin of error, and I suspect that if there was any loss, it's probably not actual muscle tissue, especially since he didn't lose any strength. You see, at every check-in, we've also been testing our muscle strength using this Biodex isokinetic dynamometer, basically just pressing
Okay, I like this machine. Is interesting, yes.
against this foot pad as hard as you can, and the computer measures how hard you pushed.
So the machine is going to check how hard you push your strength in the opposite direction. Okay.
Since the beginning of the experiment, Brad's strength has trended up. My strength also trended up, but not
It should go up. Why is it going down? Because you got fat?
by as much as Brad's. And at my last check-in, it was down a bit. So this time, I was determined to have my best strength test yet. I buckled myself into the machine, and on command, I pressed as hard as I possibly could. I got a massive isokinetic dynamometer PR of 359.2 newton meters. We always take 3 measurements though, so I buckled back in for round 2.
2, 1. No, hold on. I felt something really weird in my knee.
And I injured my knee, partially torn tendon, so that sucks. I'm leaving this recomp phase.
So he injured his knee, partly torn. Okay, great. Because Jeff Nippert is weak. Pushing against gravity makes you weak, and now he's got an injury pushing against gravity on this machine. Great. That's just great.
Not only having gained 0 muscle in the last 3 months, but with a freshly injured
He
knee.
gained 0 muscles, and he has a freshly injured what?
So I just
Freshly injured knee. Great.
finished up the first workout, basically the first rehab workout after I injured my knee. I'm basically using...
How stupid is that? You injured your knee. Testing your strength. Okay. That just goes to show you're weak. If you got injured on that machine testing your strength, you're weak, bro. Get it?
lighter weights with a really slow tempo for now. So I've been using a 3-second negative.
Now he's got to do lighter weight for whatever, slower tempos. Okay.
Just pause in the stretch.
Yeah.
3-second positive. That will keep some tension on the quads, but
Stretch.
it just pales in comparison to the intensity and the load that I normally use. Not an ideal way to kick off the cut, but this is just a normal part of training. I think you could make the case that the more you try to optimize, the higher your risk of having a setback is as well. Even though in this case, I don't think it had anything to do with my training. I think it was just being fasted, not having anything to eat, and then having to go and do an all-out isometric strength test is
Fasted and not eating? Well, sometimes I can go a whole day without eating, even the next day. That doesn't mean anything.
probably not like the safest thing in the world. And we also, because
It weakens because lifting concentrically weakens you, bro. Get it? You don't understand. You're wearing out. Your ligaments and tendons are being worn out, and your cartilage by lifting conventionally in an adapted state. You're not building. You're deteriorating. Get it? Christ.
of like time constraints and everything, didn't do any warm up before that test. So like, regardless, it is what it is. It happens. Could have been worse. My physiotherapist said it'd probably be at least a month or two of rehab. So I did my best to keep things optimistic and really just focus on getting all the excess fat off.
So now he has to go to the gym and rehab his injury. Okay, like that's gonna work. Okay, whatever.
And finishing off this experiment as strong as I can, given the circumstances.
It's officially
Time to start the cut.
I am tired of having extra weight on, and I'm excited to get into something cleaner eating and just like not having to gorge myself every day.
Yeah, for a cut, we're dropping down to 2,200 calories per day in bumping.
So he took the time out to make this video. It took him 1 year to make this one video. Now he says he's going to go on a cut. None of this makes sense. I got fat. Now let's go on a cut. Okay, great.
Our protein up to 190.
What did he do that was different in his training regime to build muscle that's different than everybody else? Everybody, these fitness influencers are all doing the same thing. Creatine, supplements, lifting conventionally, bulking, getting fat. Now they want to get skinny. Okay.
grams. It's actually really exciting to have a new goal, and I'm pumped to see Brad finally start his weight loss journey. About a month into the cut, the motivation really started.
Okay, so now they're going to use weights again to drop the body fat or whatever. They're going to exercise themselves. They're going to start a thermal effect using weights. Oh, man.
To ramp up. I had to train my quads with really light weights for a while, but my strength was starting to come back. I was also finally
I don't have to do any of that. I just eat natural food, and it goes to a natural state, to a state which I don't know what my body would look like naturally. And to some people that looks lean. I don't know. I don't have to go and do any of these things. I never do any of these things. This whole cutting and bulking, creatine, I don't do any of these phony things. This is just garbage. This is garbage. This is not training. It's fake. The creatine, the lifting is fake. The eating the carbs is fake. He's eating artificial food, artificial food, creating artificial muscle, and taking in creatine, adding more water weight to his muscle. Then he's claiming he built muscle, and then he gets fat, and then now he wants to cut. Man, this is stupid. Whatever. I don't get
getting
it.
to see the gains that I'd made during the bulk, and the fat was melting off. Since it worked so well during the
Let me
bulk,
see the gains that I got from making a bulk. Wouldn't you get gains from lifting weights? So he made gains bulking. He didn't make gains lifting weights. Get it? You see how stupid people are out there to believe this shit?
we decided to keep going with the upper lower push pull leg split,
Yeah, okay.
swapping out a few exercises, but keeping the overall structure the same. In my own recovery, I started stopping about 1 rep by failure on compound lifts. That's just because I really didn't want an upper body injury to deal with too. And with less calories, you do need to be a little more careful. I'm still pushing the last sets of all the isolation exercises to failure though. And with some good visual changes happening, we were both determined to hold on to as much of that muscle we built as humanly possible. At the 1 year mark, Brad and I aren't
Oh,
quite
brother, how much muscle have they built humanly possible? God, you don't know because you did everything fakely.
back to our starting body weight yet, and I really need us to both get back to the weight we started the experiment at for the true test of net muscle gain. I don't want to rush things and crash diet either, since I know that can accelerate muscle loss.
Yes, I'm going to extend it until March, under the assumption that we're both giving it 100%. If you're in, I'm in. Yeah, I'm in 100%.
So we locked back in for another 2 months, and then it was time for the final check-in.
They look the same to me.
I'm so excited for this to be done. It's been so long. It blew my mind that we both nailed the weigh-ins exactly to the decimal. I started this
Jeff looks the same. The brother looks the same.
experiment at 164.6 pounds, and I'm ending it just over 1 year later at exactly 164.6 pounds. The question is, am I
So 1 year later, he's exactly 164 pounds. There you go. That says it all. Hello.
carrying more muscle now? Let's start with Brad's final
Is he carrying more muscle now? No, he's not.
results. All right, Brad. Any final words?
He looks exactly the same like when he started.
Nope. After the cut, he has
49.
Wow, that's good.
Lean mass.
So he's up 4 kilos of lean mass.
Lean mass, yeah.
that means from the start of the
They don't know that, man. It's sarcoplasmic. He took creatine. He faked it too. Conventionally lifting.
experiment to now,
He might have gained, in newbie gains, he might have gained 2 pounds.
he's up 10 pounds of lean mass and down, get this,
All right, I would say in the beginning, maybe if he's lucky, he might have gained 5. But 5 at the max, that's a lot for him. I would say 2.5, and I'm being generous. 2.5 real 2 pounds real muscle. That's about it. That's all he gained in that whole year. Because he adapted. There was no damaging sessions. They didn't damage or anything to build muscle.
10 pounds of fat mass. That's incredible.
So he went down in fat to 29%. He's 29%. He was 36. On a whole year of lifting, doing whatever they were doing there, that's all they got. That's why I try to tell you people, lifting conventionally, concentric lifting, concentric ass cheek squeezing, bulking, creatine, and all this kind of phony stuff. Maybe in 100 years you'd see like some real gains, but until then, too late, dude. I'm sorry for you people.
And his final strength test was also his best ever. Perhaps even cooler though, his Aura Ring is now saying that his heart health has improved by about 4 years. Amazing stuff.
His heart health improved by 4 years. Well, when you stop eating slave food diet, then it probably would help. Maybe because all this shit in his arteries, he used it up. The body ate it up. Whatever the crap he had in his body. But he's still eating slave food diet, so it's not that good.
Okay, and as for me,
I just want fries, chicken burger, fries, and just some really good tequila.
okay, so from the beginning of the
So they
experiment,
just want chicken burgers and fries and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Some garbage food. Okay. Look at them. They're using their arms, ass cheek squeezing, conventional lifting.
and to the end of the experiment,
This is concentric.
at the exact same body weight, I gained
You gained nothing. He gained nothing in 1 year. Ad zero. What a waste of a year.
2.7 pounds of lean.
He didn't gain 2.7 pounds of lean mass. He didn't gain anything. He's lying. He looks exercised here in that picture on the left. He's exactly the same.
mass. That may
Without his steroids and that shitty creatine, whatever, it's fake.
not sound like much to some of you, but think about it. This is what the lean mass I added would look like if it were ribeye steaks. So that's basically like putting on almost 4 huge steaks worth of tissue in 1 year. And at just under 5'5", adding that much tissue across my body is going to make a visual difference. I definitely see the biggest difference in my chest and my back, but I see some...
Whatever, man. Whatever. I don't see much there. There's not much difference. The lighting, maybe, the picture, who knows? It's the same.
gains in my shoulders and hamstrings too. Now, if you remember, the reason I cut down is because I really wanted to see how much muscle I'd retain from my bulk. So at the end of my bulk, I was up 4.5 pounds of lean mass, and now I'm still up 2.7 pounds of lean mass. So yes, I did retain most of those gains while cutting down. I kept more than half the lean mass that I put on, which I think is pretty solid. I'm also leaner now. I started the experiment at 15.8% body fat, and now I'm down to 14.5% body fat. So not only did I shred all the 11 pounds of fat that I put on during the bulk, I also lost another 2 pounds of fat beyond that. The ultrasound results also showed that I gained net muscle in my biceps even after the cut. My quads also grew significantly during the bulk, but basically came back down to baseline after the cut. I'm gonna blame that on my knee injury, especially my left quad, which did lose more muscle, and that's the knee that I injured. I did hold on to some net muscle gain on my right quad though, even after the cut. Also, for the sake of scientific transparency, we also took BIA, or bioelectrical impedance measurements, throughout the study. This is the type of device
All right, I've done these. I don't believe in that.
you'll often see in commercial gyms. It says that I lost 1 pound of lean mass. This probably would have gutted me if I didn't have
So it says he lost a pound of lean mass. Whatever, man.
access to higher quality, more expensive, and more sensitive equipment. The IA has about twice the error margin of a DEXA machine, and I honestly just think my gains were well within the error bars for that device. Plus, the DEXA results, the ultrasound results, the strength results, and the before and after photos
What a waste.
all quite clearly show that I made gains. So I say this just to say that you shouldn't feel bad if you get a BIA test done and results aren't what you expected. They're often not sensitive enough to detect real changes in muscle mass in experienced lifters. So the question we all
They're
want
just saying you made gains because they want to make you happy and come back.
to know, am I going to use steroids? No.
Yes, he is, because he's been using them. He went and competed on steroids so he could cheat people out of winning.
I think I proved to myself that I can still make gains even
Come on, man. He's not making gains lifting conventionally. Look at this. Look at the flies. It's pure concentric.
15 years deep if I really commit. I don't have any regrets about the training program, but if I had my time back, I think I would have bulked
Look, he's using his arms to pull it.
a little less aggressively. I think that
See his arms? They're ass cheek squeezing. It's concentric lifting, concentric.
if I had gained, say, half the weight during my bulk, I may have gained a similar amount of lean mass, but with less fat. As for the so-called natural ceiling, I still do think it theoretically exists, at least on paper.
Natural ceiling doesn't exist. It's based on training, not natural ceiling. It's based on your training.
If you could just keep building muscle indefinitely, anyone still lifting in their 70s or 80s would be the biggest bodybuilders.
You can still, I do. You can still build muscle 60s, 70s, 80s, providing you do something specific and not lift the way you're lifting conventionally.
Live, but I think I did show that you can kind of push your natural ceiling up with optimized training and diet. At the very least,
There's no such thing.
I think I showed that's possible. So my next goal now is to get shredded, properly shredded, under 8% body fat. And Brad said he's gonna keep going with the cut too. Actually, while I was editing this video, he lost another 5 or 6 pounds, and this was his latest physique update that he just sent me. I wanna get in my best shape ever this year. If you're looking
He looks the same. He wants to be in his best shape this year.
to do
Fine.
the same, I'd recommend running my new upper-lower push-pull legs program.
Oh, he wants to sell you the push-pull program, which is it's a failure. You're going to be the exact same weight. He didn't prove it built anything. He was the exact same weight, 136. Now he wants to sell you a program, a failure program. It failed him, and it's going to fail all of you. Get it? You have to be stupid not to see that, to buy this failure program. Come on, man.
For yourself. It's the same program we ran for this experiment, except it's written to be more individualized to you. So there's a beginner version, an intermediate to advanced
Yeah,
version.
the same program he used in this program, and guess what it was? 136? 136.
And I give you 2 substitution options for every exercise, full instructions on how to swap exercises in and out. I'm calling it the bodybuilding transformation system because it really is more than just a program.
Yes, the bodybuilding transformation program. How you can come back a year later and still weigh 136 pounds. Perfect.
There's video demos for every exercise,
Yes,
volume
yes.
analytics, technique cues, and a full handbook explaining all the science behind the program. If you run this for the next 6 months, I guarantee you'll build muscle. If you don't, I'll give you a full refund.
He guarantees if you run this for 6 months that you'll get gains. Yet he ran it for a full year and he got a zero. A zero. And so did his brother. He got 0 gains. The pump, the creatine, whatever. I don't know. And the bulk in the creatine. Fake.
No questions asked. I truly believe this is the most effective program I've ever written, and I had a blast running it. You can pick up either the beginner version.
This is absolutely the most bullshit program I've ever seen in my entire life. And if the people buy this after watching this, you have to be brain dead buying his garbage programs.
or the intermediate to advanced version on jeffnipper.com. It's 25% off for launch week. If you're watching this video after launch week, I'll still go ahead and leave a discount code in the description box below so you can still save some money. Now, obviously, it's not enough to just dial your training in. Your diet is also super important. So you can download my nutrition app Macro Factor for 2 weeks for free, which is like having me as your own personal nutrition
Oh, whatever, man. Come on, man.
coach, but for a tiny fraction of the cost. Oh, and when it was all said and done, I did end up getting what I really wanted.
I'll do six McNuggets with large fries, and then I'll also add a McCrisp.
Look what he's ordering. Garbage. Slave food.
Bro.
Bro, slave food diet. Garbage food, yes. Health influencer, see? This is health influencing. There you go. He's building muscles eating those fries and that fake burger and the Coca-Colas. Okay.
Very good. This is exactly
Very good,
nice.
How could you call something that's so nasty very good? Garbage. What the heck? What's a brother eating? A steak? I hope it's a steak.
Hey, what's up, man? Yo, what's up? Not much, man. Just barbecuing, relaxing. I'm so glad that we're done. Done?
He's so glad we're done. I haven't done anything.
Bro, that was just the first part.
They haven't done anything. I'll see you in the next video, friends. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. See you in the next one.
Yeah, we've got a whole other experiment to do. Oh.
Hey, I'll see you at the gym, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'll see you at the gym too, Jeff. Man, this was the stupidest video I've ever reacted to. Garbage, and it was so long, and I even forwarded fast to make it go. It's crazy, and it says 33 minutes and it went for an hour. See you in the next one. Ciao, friends.